Soon the last will be beaten. Beaten like...
Ready to advance, ready to defend. What can I do for you, comrade? Ask away, my friend, ask away. Always helps to know a thing or two about who's covering your back against the gnashing hordes, eh? Frankly, it surprises me you lot are so eager to work with them. In my experience, they're kinda less reliable than used wagon sales dwarfs from Yuthel Gore. Heed me, comrade. You can't trust a wizard, witch, diviner, conjurer, or seer farther than you can throw 'em. Aye, comrade. And they're as gruesome a relic as their name suggests. Death fuels them, and only a sorcerer would wield them. I've seen one put to use in my day. What I witnessed, well, it's been burned into my eyelids for too long now. I don't know if I'll ever forget.
In the night, by the needles...
Well, comrade, I've been around long enough, but not that long, mind, to know that little in this world can be split categorically into light and dark. My distrust of magic is instinctive after my years as a source hunter, but I also know that, at times, using the enemy against itself is the only way to make a lick of progress. So toss your cadabra elixirs and your illusion scrolls to high heavens, comrades. As long as I don't see a hint of darkness about you, you've got nothing to fear from old Medora. More than I'd hoped, comrade. I don't know what in tarnation's gotten into the townsfolk here, but there's enough dark magic running roughshod to topple a small mountain. There's Mayor Cecil's doings for one, and the mysteries of our master Thaleron for another. And on top of it all, the feline menace is lurking at every hearth and shadow. Now, don't get me wrong, I think the mayor's a decent sort, even if he can't hear farther than the tip of his nose. But from what I've heard whispered around the docks, the old guy's gotten himself mixed up in something not quite on this side of the law. I suspect an illegal source artifact or substance is the root of it, but exactly what or who's given it to him, I can't say. And since I haven't technically been assigned to Cecil, I don't have the authority to interrogate him. Fella seems like a humble doctor, but I'll bet my sword he's dealing in something darker than splints and tonics. A loose-lipped legionnaire let slip that she'd seen our good doctor scale the city wall on 2 separate occasions, well past midnight each time. What business could he have among the undead? Hardly the habit of an innocent healer, I'd say. You mean you don't already know, comrade? Their kind can see in the dark. It ain't natural. It's no coincidence the Order retired me, or tried to anyhow, to such an aptly named little town. Way back when, the settlement was chartered as a stronghold for source hunters to keep watch over the borders of the Phantom Forest. Don't let the name fool you, though. These days, the forest is little more than a smattering of trees and ruins. A perfect posting for an old bull and her dotage like yours truly. In the days of old, though, the forest played host to source devils of every make and kind. Hunter's Edge was a settlement of source hunters tasked with watching over the border of the forest and putting down anything smacking a source that might creep out of it. By now, it's been centuries since anything more dangerous than a badger has come out of those woods. By and by, the source hunters moved out and regular folks set up shop. But the town's charter requires that at least one of our kind remain to keep the watch.
You call to Wolgraff. He awaits your queries. With a simple nod, the rogue seems to say, "Shoot!" Wolgraff sighs and pulls parchment parts out of his pockets. He opts for the largest one he can find and sits down, pen in hand.
When I was a kid, friends and I used to play source hunters. Neighbour's dog was the sorcerer. Good fun. One day, we saw strangers in the forest. They looked dodgy. Dark robes, big knives. Friends fled, but I followed them. They took a man into a cave, cut his throat, held him over a blue stone. Blood turned it into ruby. I warned the source hunters in the city. Caught the cutthroats. Source hunters called me a hero. Bad guys were hung. I witnessed the hanging. Sorcerer spoke a spell before the trapdoor opened. I was mute, just like that. Always wanted to be a source hunter, but source hunters didn't want no mutiny order. Can't blame 'em. Too bad, though. Too bad.
Walgraf frowns and signals you to hold on for an instant. He begins to write and gives you a scrap of paper.
Not easy being mute. Can't talk and folks think you're slow in the head. No one ever gave me work, though I'm good with my hands. Was poor. Got hungry. Got thirsty. Stole stuff. Then got greedy. Became a cat burglar. Told you, I'm good with my hands. Would have done honest work with them, given the chance. A long time ago. I ain't bitter about it, though. Like the rogue's life. Freedom. Unless the law gets you. Haven't yet. Too nimble. Too good. Born for adventure.
The rogue smiles broadly and dramatically produces the quill in question. He holds it aloft for all to admire, then jots down the following words.
Saw a wizard once in the village up north. Hunter's Edge. Wizard had nifty things. Brooms that sweep by themselves. Big star viewer in the garden. Went into his house by night. Found quill by spellbooks. Kept it. Never needed ink no more. Hands used to be black as chimney sweeps. Clean now. Clean of ink, that is, not of thievery. Man's got to eat after all.
The hunters go a-stalking in the night. By the needles of the million bleeder.
I'm telling you, a necromancer must have been at work in Sicil. How else do you explain a risen dead sprouting like mushrooms in the night?
Soon the last will be beaten. Beaten like the anvil of Grog, the torturer. All hail, Grog!
If only the popular
All
girls from
hail
the
his
Source
hot
Academy could
steel
see how
instruments.
edgy and dangerous you've become.
The hunters?
If only the popular girls from the Source Academy could see how edgy and dangerous you've become.
The million bleeder, they'll end it all! End it all in blood! Soon the last will be beaten. Beaten like the anvil of Grog, the torturer. All hail, Grog! All hail his hot steel
Maybe the lock
instruments.
can be jimmied.
All hail, Grog! All hail his hot-steeled instruments. Here I wait for thee in the dark. But the stab shall bring the light. Minister to death. That is what I want of thee. Soon the last will be beaten. Beaten like the anvil of Grog, the torturer. All hail, Grog! All hail his hot-steeled instruments.
Greetings, Source Hunter. I don't mean to hinder your...
Hello again. How can I help you? 3 hopeless sailors. Truly wish I could help you, but...
Where the smoke, there's fire!
It was Esmeralda who killed Councillor Jake, but I didn't see her here the night of the murder. Then again, she might have just gotten a new pair of shoes. This will is disgusting. The folks in Hunter's Edge make the best whiskey in Rivellon.
I was really hoping to find something better. Not even worth the rummaging. tighter than the treasury. I feel better already.
Versa's shape is gone, gone, gone. Think it vanished through one of them swirly shrines?
The closest I've come to nine matches when I linger over Longbar writing my pipe.
I think I'll sleep by the fire tonight, once the regulars stagger home. I am Unsinkable Sam. At least that's what they call me around here. Used to be a ship's cat, but the clipper I was on sank, and I was the only one to wrestle himself free from the waves. The people here were kind and took me in, being the king crab's foremost patron ever since. A magnificent ship she was. Used to belong to a pirate, I was told. Unlike me, she didn't prove to be unsinkable, though. We hit the cliffs right neath the lighthouse. Not very apt a name for that building, I must say, for no light was shining from it.
You'll be concerned enough when you realize that...
The moment I hit the water, I writhed around like I would on a hot tin roof. By some miracle, I managed to reach the beach, covered in kelp and smelling worse than a fish's funeral parlor. But I was alive, and that was more than anybody else could say. So I was. What friends I had. They drowned alongside the rats I used to hunt in the galley. And there I was, all alone.
Alistair.
Not that I have it bad here, mind you. I've milk and fish aplenty. Most folks will pet me kindly, and when one of the village girls holds me tight against her ample bosom, I purr up a storm. But I do long for a companion of my own kind, and in that regard, there is no one like Maxine. Maxine, the mayor's darling pet. So gentle, so fair a feline. The grace of her whiskers, the subtle palette of dyes in her sable coat. She's one of a kind, that cat. She likes me. I know she does. But when I declare my love, she backs away. I don't know why. I've serenaded her and braved many a bucket of water for my efforts. But for some reason, she is not to be swayed. By all means. People make a fuss about them because they endanger the lands around the city. They never bother me when I'm out for my monthly walk, though. But still, I do detest them. I mean, they're so unnatural, aren't they? Cats can have 9 lives, but humans are only entitled to 1. Oh, don't mention orcs to me. Worse than dogs, that lot. Sank Walrus Willie's boat right from under him. Best anchovy fisher in the world he was. A loss to us all.
Whatever happened to that troop of eager imbeciles we sent to the Northern Cave?
Ah, hello. I suppose you're here to viciously interrogate me for information I don't have, like our noble Captain Aureus before you. Which one? I've written, Esmeralda, more works of lyrical mastery than I can count. All that letter proves is my devotion to my lady, not any actual intention to do away with Jake. Yes, she and I have a history. That's hardly a secret anymore. I quite doubt it was even a secret from Jake while he lived. As easy as it would be to pin suspicions on Esmeralda or I assure you that the affair was never so steamy and sordid as the busybodies around town make it out to be. Jake and Esmeralda had no great affection for each other. He had his interests, she had hers, and there was little passion left between them. Certainly not enough to fuel a murder.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Fancy that! A source hunter barging in when the lady of the house is fully dressed. Who could have fathomed such a thing?
Not in the mood for cheese. That excuse is more holes than a slice of this pie.
You call to Wolgraff. He awaits your queries.
Potions to bemuscle you, scrolls to entussle.
Thank the seven we secured the perimeter.
Looking good.
You call to Wolgraff. He awaits your query.
Ooh!
The hunter returns! I hope you are here to shop rather than sleuth. Starstone? I've never heard of such a thing. Dear Jake had a mineral collection, yes. As far as I knew, it was one of his pastimes, nothing more. Do you mean to imply he collected something dangerous? Something that may have gotten him into trouble? Oh, this is all too much. I feel like I'm drifting from nightmare into nightmare.
A book about setting up the perfect crime.
Septimus, that you haven't been fighting those awful orcs. I can't bear to imagine something would happen to you.
Can you spare a coin?
inside her secret room, but I bet it's full of hands too. I'd go in and see if I were tall enough to reach the button. Say! Where's Jake? Did he finally run off with that white-haired woman? What was her name? Candice?
As good as a new penny. On the mend!
Ah, so that's what that did. A bloody dagger. Could this have been involved in the crime?
It certainly piques one's interest, doesn't it?
Quiet day on the market, it seems.
How lovely to see you again, haver of the beautifully shaped shoulders.
Delicious dogfish, yours for a scrap gold each.
Let us see if you can choose the finest greens.
Not in the mood for cheese. That excuse is more home than a slice of this fine organ neck.
Join the Spud Club if you've got an eye for farm potatoes.
Get it while it's fresh. This batch is only hours from the sea.
Well, what sort of arrows do you want? Freezing? Silver? Poison? Get to the point.
Quiet day on the market, it seems.
Red and orange, yellow and green, the finest veggies size seals ever seen.
Lord, son, spiritless. Perhaps wrestling an armed elemental will inject some vim into your routine. Heavenly herring, delicious dogfish, yours for a scrap of gold each.
Quiet day on the market, it seems.
Excellent. Let's keep it that way.
I'm warm as fresh apple pie.
I'm overheating here.
warm as fresh apple pie.
Feeling hot under the collar.
Still thinking about exploring the beach? You don't look like you're quite ready to head out into the wilds to me. You may have the right number of champions in your party, yet in experience, I think you're lacking. Of course, the choice is yours, but are you sure you want to venture out? I certainly hope you know what you're doing, Source Hunter. Right, open her up, Legionnaires.
Into the fray once more.
Steady, boys, steady. We'll be leaving as soon as we're packed up.
Salutations! Source hunters, I see. I've...
They're dead.
And they might have lived if we hadn't intervened.
By the gods! She killed them! Those fools are dead! I knew that she-beast would bring disaster. It was that orc. She snapped, grabbed them, popped their necks, and then ran out of here like a wild beast. I'm only grateful she didn't notice me standing here. Can you imagine? By the gods! She killed them! the gods! She killed them! By the gods! She killed them!
In the sea, but I've got the foulest of the lot on my hands.
I said to him,
Size seal, shiver me timbers and sliver me heels.
Pace an hour, I'll walk out that door.
Good on you. These boss men respect competence.
I can't even
So
smell
what
the
they
sea
say?
air. over
Well,
this
what does it matter? Day labour's more suited to
Steady,
my
boys,
nature anyway.
steady. We'll be leaving as
Honest
soon as
pay
we're
for an
packed
honest
up.
day.
To leave the city is to venture into
Legionnaire,
danger.
at your service. You don't look like you're quite ready to thank you for heeding my...
Salutations, Source Hunter. I shall be very glad to share what information I can give you. It's very sweet of you that you are trying to get these men a job, but I'm afraid they're not Legion material. Sure, they can tie a knot and blow a whistle like the best of them, but even with a sword in their hands, they wouldn't stand a chance against the undead, and I don't want any more blood on my hands.
Hi, Mr. Head Honcho Legionnaire. The Source Hunter says that creep Robert stole my sheep.
And?
Well, aren't you going to arrest that stinking thief?
I'll have a talk with him, madam. Oh, what now? What about it? It was stolen? Gods, what a fool that Roberts is. Taking a bribe in beleaguered old Sicil. Ah, what was he going to do with that gold? Buy the largest kipper in the land? Yes, yes. Well, I assume it hasn't crawled back to its grave. So have you found any suspect? would you have the Legion arrest? The elf? What in the name of Ahu's arse should I arrest him for?
Nonsense. The man is just senile and quite harmless. Listen, what we handle ourselves, we handle better than the Legion, don't we?
Very well, have it your way.
How about you make up your mind before addressing me? All this pointless chatter is getting on my nerves.
How can I help you, my friend? By all means. I can't say much more, but that they're madmen. All the more dangerous to us because of their alliance with what should be a natural enemy. You won't see me teaming up with a terrier in a hurry. And what might those be?